Hey y'all, it is May the 24th, I believe, 2026. And tomorrow is officially Memorial Day, I believe. And it's kind of died down a little bit, but off in the distance, I was previously listening to a little bit of fireworks. Now, I don't know if the fireworks were necessarily in dedication for Memorial Day. In fact, if I had to guess, probably it had a lot to do with the Spurs, which is San Antonio's basketball team. It looks like they won Game 4 against the Oklahoma Thunder, which I had to say, it's seeming like a very fascinating, very enthralling series. I haven't been watching any of it. In fact, after this video, maybe I'll cut on the highlights, because Lord knows those will get views, so people post the highlights of videos. Can't see it live because I don't have television. I think it was on NBC, and it was also on Peacock. I have neither one of those. But it seems very exciting, dude, because it's like we won the first game, San Antonio, and then Oklahoma won 2 games in a row, and now we done tied it up, and it's 2-2. That's pretty exciting. I imagine in San Antonio that's why the fireworks were going off. I'm fixing to check out the highlights actually right after I cut off this video, because Lord knows it's probably been posted. And I have patience. Like, I'm not gonna get television or Peacock, the Peacock app or whatever, to see it live. I'll just catch the highlights. Very exciting. But I'm sitting here and I wanted to go ahead and just say a couple of things. You might already understand that I'm on some alcohol, all right? A little bit. Voodoo Ranger. I've had a couple of these. One of them 7%, one of them 11%. Let me just say those percentages are a little bit too high. But that's like the point of it, right? I'm sitting here chilling, relaxing. And the Spurs, for example, I'm from San Antonio, so it's like, okay, I can relate. But in the end, it's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. And I just laugh at people who are very invested in it. I understand why you are. That's the only San Antonio team that's like major league and stuff, so people really get behind it. I do understand it and why people get very invested in it and emotional about it. All right, but I'm not really there with you. Why? Because it's more serious things. Plenty of them. For example, one, the Iran war, which I said long ago, you're not going to see the end of it. I don't care. I don't care what the hell Trump says on Truth Social about, oh, we won the war, we won the war. He said that over 30 times, and I'm not exaggerating. He said it over 30 times that we've won the war. We haven't won shit, number one. But he also, God bless him, he alludes to the fact that like there's some sort of resolution or some conclusion that's coming. No, it's not. Just like I said many, many, many days ago. No, it's not. It's not like I'm some sort of genius. A lot of people will tell you that. It's not concluding because it's not supposed to conclude if you dig deeper. It's not about, oh, we had to go to war over principles. Oh, we got to go to war over our existential existence as a country. No, we're in war because that's another thing that's going to help bring us down as a country. I have no idea how anything else is going to conclude from that. We're going down. We're being brought down. And so we're in a time of change. And for those people who are very afraid about it, well, there's a life after this life. I don't think you should be afraid about it. But I can't help but recognize how God is enabling this transition from what we are to something else, the status quo to something new, whether that be very bad or very good. I mean, a lot of people would assume very bad, and I couldn't argue with them about that. But transition nonetheless, and it could be very good. In fact, everything that God does is good. Regardless, if God does it, it's good. And a lot of people probably wouldn't see eye to eye with me on that. But he's enacting a transition. It's much, much deeper than whether or not the Spurs win like the playoffs. Doesn't matter. But here in San Antonio, you'll hear mad fireworks because that's who we are. That's what will happen regardless. Y'all, I just wanted to cut on the video to talk with you, but also with my baby, all right? A lot of people who know who that is. There's only one. There is only one and nobody competes. I just want to let you know, and you probably already know, but I want to re-emphasize that nobody competes with her. There is only one. And I don't know how to imagine a future where there's more than one. There is only one, baby. And she's out there, and I've not communicated with her, you know, in a literal sense, in a physical, earthly sense, for almost, I said 12 years. You know, it's a long time, but it goes by. In adult years, it goes by, you almost say it goes by very quick in adult years. In children years, that's a very long time. That's like an eternity. 12 years. But it has been that long. And as I've said before, and I'll say again, I mean, because I know that it's true. Time, distance changes nothing. We feel like it's a thing in between us. It changes nothing. That's what I've come to realize. And it's a beautiful lesson to change nothing. 12 years, 1200 years, does not matter. That's God's way. God is not impressed by 12 years nor 1200 years. Doesn't matter. When I speak about my baby, I could tell you before God right now, and may he do whatever. May he do whatever to me right now. It doesn't matter. because I believe in him, and it's like, please do whatever to me. I believe in you. You are God. You have brought us here. You are our creator. Over this past 12 years, there has not been one day, not one day, there has not been one day, not once, never ever, that I have not personally thought about my baby. That's only one person. I gotta tell you, from someone who has whatever you want to call it, I don't care what name, ADHD, autism, whatever it is you want to call it. I gotta let you know that there's not one person. There's not another person in this whole world. I don't care who you are, because that's how I'm built. There's not one person who I've thought about every day. You do not exist. Who I've thought about every day. There's not one person except for Bebe. Now, over the past 1 or 2 years, I've made it my purpose to holler at a couple of my brethren. Shout out to Nino and Scotty Boy. I've made it a purpose to talk to you every day, just to make sure that I can participate in somebody's life every day. So I'll text them and stuff like that, but it hasn't been for 12 years. It's only the past couple of years that I've tried to do that, just to make sure that I can participate in somebody's life. But regardless, Bebe is the only one I've thought about for 12 years, and perhaps I'll see her in an earthly sense here in the near future. I couldn't tell you, but that's what I expect. And that's what I'm going to try to initiate myself in the very near future. And y'all know about it if I do. But suffice it to say that nobody else comes close. Not in the same ballpark, not in the same league. There is nobody else. So if she ever were to see this, and if she were to ever to wonder how much that I'm concerned more than anybody ever on this earth. And that's how I remain. And that's how God wanted me to be. That's the position that God wanted me to be in. And I'm not only fine with that, I'm very ecstatic about that. Number one, because whether or not she understands this right now, whether or not she does, there's nobody who is closer to me. I mean, as you can imagine, not one person in the world is closer to me than she is. And it's very appropriate that she knows that. Because that's one of those things that you're going to wonder about. If you're her, put yourself in her shoes. You would wonder about that. Oh, how come I have a father out there? I have people who've lied to me. I have a father out there who I have not seen for, at this point, almost 12 years. And does he think about me? Am I important to him? Before God and everybody else, yes, you're important to me. In fact, you're the most, you're the only thing that's important to me. I also want to mention that, it's like, as that's already established, yes, you're the most important. Period. Nobody's in the same league as you. Nobody comes close to you. Nobody can touch you in that regard. But I also want to mention that, it's also very important, very appropriate to mention, is that not one day in our lifetimes, to my recognition, not one day have I ever had obligation to you, or you to me. There is no obligation. In my experience, in my lifetime, it's interesting because a lot of people are close to you. There's certain people that are close to you, especially family, or to be more specific, those people who are related to you by blood. In my whole life, in my whole experience, and I'm almost 40, who knows if I'll live to see 40? I have no idea what tomorrow brings. But there is no obligation, and that's what's most beautiful. That is what's most beautiful about our relationship, is that there is no obligation. And that's what I need to keep consistent, but even more than that, sacred. There is no obligation to you, and you have no obligation to me, and we never have had that, and I want to keep that forever. It's not about obligation, because the people who I've known, the people who I'm related to, I love them. I have no beef with anybody in my close relation at all. But there has been obligation. Like, a lot of people feel obligation towards me, and I can feel it. They need to talk to me or whatever, and keep in contact with me. Why? Because of obligation. And I still love them. It doesn't really like affect me too much, but it's important that we don't have obligation. It's not about that. It's about the fact that I want to see you. It's about that I want to hear from you. It's not that I'm obligated to do it. It's that I'm built to understand the depth of our relationship. And you are the only one. And I'm thankful for that, to have that. And I appreciate you. I don't know when I'm going to see you, but I do have plans and plots and schemes to see you very soon. To at least gaze upon you from a distance. As creepy as that might sound. And in that we are in the last days. And I don't mean that the earth is going to end, but it's the last days of whatever this is that we call this. Whatever world that we have built in this weird bubble that we're in. For example, like I mentioned, the Spurs. I've seen people get very emotional about it. It doesn't matter. It's a basketball game. And who gives a fuck about it? Doesn't make any damn difference. But in these final days that we're in, while we're in this transition, it's the final days of the world that we knew. This world that we knew that has dissolved before our eyes. Why? Because of the lies that we had accepted previously. This we that I talk about, this we, pioneers of a new age, who have experienced and lived through this world that will end, that is in the process of ending right now. We will go ahead and see to a new world, whether it be horrific or splendid. I don't know. The Bible talks about it being horrific, right? I just wanted to say, it's been a pleasure and it's been extremely interesting. It's been, to me, spellbinding. I couldn't imagine anything more bizarre. I could not even imagine a world being more bizarre than this. And I'm very appreciative to just witness to it. I personally, in my own personal story, I would love to see you one more time. And maybe I will. I think I know where you're at. And it's a little bit far, but it's not too far. I would love to see you one more time. And that's a selfish thing, to be honest. I have to be honest with myself. That's a selfish thing. If I could see you one more time, then I don't care. It's like, either way, I don't care what exactly takes place from here on out. I put it in God's hands. As far as the world, as far as the slavery that we're being put under, as far as the murder that's being put upon our heads on a daily basis, and I see it every day. The murder, the intense hatred for our human existence. Despite that, it doesn't matter. I trust in God's plan. And if anything, if I were to ask for anything, it would be to see you one more time, if even from a distance. Doesn't matter. If I were to ask for one thing on this earth, to see you one more time from a distance, and you had to know. I had to let you know. that you are that important to me. And in fact, nobody else is that important to me. If you ever wondered. Alright. I'm gonna get up out of here, but if that doesn't happen, if that event does not take place, if I don't lay my eyes upon you again, and I had to thank you for the 4 years that we've had together, and that was a thing that existed. I don't know if anybody else wants to. I don't know one person. I don't know one soul who would dwell upon that, but that 4 years that we had together was golden, was transformative, was the highlight of my life. That you were in it. And if I could just see you one more time, that would be... There's nothing else that I could ask for. And in fact, to be honest with you, ever since that, for about 12 years, you know, as I probably mentioned before, I personally, I don't know if you would call it a time traveler, I don't know what you would call it, a ghost, a dead person, a person who doesn't really exist in this dimension, a ghost. That's who I've been. And everybody who I meet and who I talk to, in my perception, is only talking to a ghost. Someone who did exist in this dimension and has kind of moved on, to be honest. I just want to let you know that this ghost has been hanging on for you. I don't know what you're going to get into. I don't know what the story of your life is going to reveal. But whatever it is, it's going to be a culmination of everything that I've ever experienced and that I've ever gone through. And regardless of how it takes place, and regardless of the results of it, I'm glad that I did it. I'm glad that I've lingered on the earth as a ghost for about 12 years. And I appreciate you. And I know it's going to be larger than life and beyond this realm. There's a different realm. There's a better realm. And we're all headed towards it if we so choose. I'm going to get up out of here, but we have to choose God's way, or we will be left behind. We have to submit. As I've said many times before, we have to submit. We have to admit that we were wrong at least one point in our lives. We thought we knew a better way. We don't know a better way. God has a better way. And since He does have a better way, we have to admit that we were wrong at some point. And we thought we were all-knowing, and we thought we were very smart. It's not the case. We were not very smart. We were wrong, and God was right, and God has given us everything. And God has given us a way back. For as retarded as we understand that the world is, okay, you get it, the world's retarded. I could just point at the sky and say, hey, look, you understand that people are killing us right now, and they don't give a fuck about us. Why? Because their father is Satan, and they love murder, and they love slavery. And the normal person, the average person who on earth can't even find it in their guts to look up at the sky and realize in more ways than one we're being killed, we're being gotten rid of, we're being deleted. But the thing is that there's another realm from here. There's something beyond here. There's something beyond this life that we will be given access to if only we submit, if only we admit that we were wrong. We were wrong for hatred. We were wrong to hate. We were wrong to think that, oh, we know better than God. Anyway, so I'll holler at y'all a little bit later. And I appreciate all y'all.